afternoon. You're listening to Cannabis Corner on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, broadcasting live from downtown New Haven. We're streaming live on TuneIn Radio and NewHavenIndependent.org, and we're also streaming live video on Facebook and YouTube. Just go to your Facebook page and look us up, or hit see first to see and hear all the great programs that we have here on WNHHLP. And Cannabis Corner is also streaming live on the Greenhaven Media Facebook page and ProCannabisMedia.com. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Cannabis Corner. It is Monday, September 22nd, 2025, the first day of fall, and it feels like it out there. I am joined today, of course, by the one and only Uncle Lou, Farmer Lou. How are you doing today, my friend?
Hey, brother, how's it going? How's it going today, brother?
It's going well.
The fall is here, and we're feeling it,
I'm telling you, there's something different in the air today, like a whole nother vibe. But
it's the spring equinox, brother. Fall equinox, right?
right.
2:19 today, so we'll just do what we can to make it.
Yeah, there's something heavy. People, I don't know. A lot of people do understand the significance of both the solstices and the equinoxes. When the sun shifts, it also shifts nature.
Yeah, nature.
And we're part of nature. And a lot of people don't understand that we shift with the equinoxes as well. And this is the time for harvest. And just as it's time for harvest in your garden, it is time for harvest in your life. So all the things you've been working on and trying to build over the spring and the summer will come to fruition now. And you see that in your own life. I see it in my personal life, that not only does nature go through seasons, your life, you go through seasons because you're part of nature. We're affected by the sun and the cycles, and once you realize that, then you understand why I walked out today and I felt like the air was just quiet. It was just quiet, and it was nice. But anyway,
100%, 100%, and it's tough, as individuals, we are governed by that, and it pulls on us, and the universe pushes forward. So definitely a time for a lot of things,
Yeah, and this is going to, and this means is on society as a whole, because we're all connected to nature. So society and the collective shifts as well. And that you can see happening. You know what I'm saying? So
yep. And if you got some plants, harvest them.
And let's get back to weed. So just sit back, enjoy the ride, harvest your plants, Lou, right? We have harvested 4. I harvested 4 babies right now.
There you go. You go.
So, and it was nice. And let's talk real. There were a couple events this weekend. One was the Freedom Rally, and one was the Elevate and Thrive Festival. Now, normally I would be jumping up to go to those events, right? And you as well.
Yeah.
But I woke up Saturday morning. I had an invitation to go. Paul from Dab and Dad
100%
would have driven me and driven me back. And I turned it down.
Oh, man.
Only because I wanted to spend time in my garden.
There you go, Joe.
You have to look at priorities in life. And I've been to the Freedom Rally a bunch of times. I go out there and I see the same people, and it's very nice. But I don't. How much of that can you do? And how much of that do you need? That's a good point.
I had I was gonna head up with our good friend Lupino, and I just opted, and that was gonna be Friday, not even Saturday, and I just opted not to. The vibe for me as season changes just wasn't there just right with now. Everything that comes with it. It sounds stupid. I tell people all the time, and we love, like, let's start this. We love everybody. We love cannabis. And for me personally, there's something missing from good cannabis, from the good cannabis space. The way that the state has done legal cannabis has really put a sour taste in my mouth,
Put a sour taste in the Fed's mouth too.
put a sour taste in a lot of people's mouth. It's tough because you want to be happy to do something and then you're not. And
Yeah,
it's exactly what people tell you when they're like, do you really want to turn your hobby or your passion into a job?
Lou, it's so true.
And
This is why I didn't want to get into the business. And you're learning, yeah.
yeah,
Tell the people your experience because I
you
feel it.
know, and it's all good. So now as we go through the things, we work through them and we get through them and we make the stuff happen. But just the regulations and the way that they've done legal cannabis in the state are tough, are really, really, really tough.
Tough to
So
handle. It
tough to
really.
navigate. And I think Reno was on.
I wanted to mention that he on our newspaper,
Yep,
sponsored by our station.
yep,
Excellent article today
yep.
stating, Reno basically said, they're treating the smoke shop operators lighter than they treat us. He said, I'd love to be fined like that.
Right.
So yeah, basically just yeah, he had a lot of good things to say.
And it's a tough place because now, I've had the same thing. I said, you guys keep the locations open right down the road. Well, we don't have any authority. And I'm like, then there's no authority around here. Like, what is it, And then they definitely regulate people differently,
Yep.
and and then I don't want to speak ill because they definitely make sure to
I'm sure
retaliate.
they listen. I guarantee you they listen.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. That's
Or
why once again,
if
no
not
matter what
live,
you
the
say,
archive.
100%. Why wouldn't they, right? Why wouldn't I've been told they listen. I've been the random people that have said, I catch your show or I listen to it or something like that. And I'm like, wow, there's a lot of people that listen to this in a lot of places. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And they hear this, and the last thing they need to hear from me is, you know what I mean? Because what's going to
Well,
happen?
the
You
first thing
know?
that people need to hear from you is exactly what you're saying. But the
Yeah.
last thing the DCP wants to hear from you is what you're saying too.
Yeah. I've gotten I've been able to get flowers because, we may see that there's not a recall, but on the back end, there's definitely companies like, hey, this didn't age as well on the shelf.
Yep.
Can we swap it out for you? You know what I
I
mean?
mean, they'll call you and tell you that. And that came to light too. There were quite a few products that were tested, that had excess amount of mold in them.
And that's I guess the term would be it didn't age as well on the shelves.
Yes, and they'll call you
Yeah.
and say, not recalling it, but we'll replace it if you want.
Right. 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 So it is what it is.
I mean, Lou, it's tough because you're dealing a lot with these regulations, especially in the medical space and
Yeah.
all
They don't
that.
make it so that a small business owner can operate. Their goal
No.
is not and they'll tell you that 1,000 times if you've got the root agent or if you know what I mean.
And
So
look, you're already seeing dispensaries close.
yep.
You know, it's showing the poor regulations and the way that is now showing its skin.
Yeah.
Now it is really being shown on public. Dispensaries are closing. The public is becoming more aware of the mold problem. There is a sour taste even from the people who used to buy from dispensaries now.
Yeah.
And it's not because of the price, it's because of the quality.
Yeah. It's starting to be it was noticed by many. But it's just, when you operate in the space, you can I video recorded one of my own personal review. Like I like to enjoy things and I'll do small reviews. And there was one that I took a review of and I was like, I still have it. It was a 5 minute review of this flower, pre-roll joint. And I was like, this sucks. But another person who is not in any real like they just bought one and went online and they were like, this pre-roll sucks. And I was like, it does. You know, just a random person that was just they tagged everything, and this was probably 5 months ago. But people recognize what it, what they got going on, and
And it's the whole reason the smoke shop culture arose.
right.
They saw a need. They're like, people aren't, they're not stupid.
Well, once things say they're legal,
They're
I've
going to
learned
try and push the boundaries, of
everybody
course.
pushes a boundary. And it's not the consumer's fault. The consumer just wants something that they can have, that they're supposed to be able to have, that's not being done the way that they thought it should be done. I don't blame the consumer at all. I blame the individuals that are looking to make everything out of it, you know?
Yeah, like you said, the counterfeit market. I don't like the fact, okay, they go to a dispensary, it's a little too high price and it's crappy weed. And literally, they're walking into a smoke shop, sometimes being solicited. Hey, you want weed? Hey, you want weed? Now, this guy, 20 bucks an eighth, 20 bucks an eighth, after he just left the dispensary, is 45, he's going to go, what do you got? And there you have it. Now he's buying from the smoke shop. And I've seen it happen to people that I know. Where you get your weed? Oh, I just get it from the smoke shop down the street. And then I have to, scold them and let me see it. Let me see that. And it's usually garbage. And it's a sad state of affairs you're in. It almost makes you want to walk away. And and I think I don't want to say I'm at that point, but for me, like you say, once the business part became involved, it became less fun. So for me, if I'm going to do cannabis events and things, I'm going to do things that are fun and that really benefit the community. I am a proud member of the Burn and Learn community, and I'll say this right on the air. Out of all the organizations I've ever been a part of, they actually do what they say they do. They go out and help the community. Any money they make goes to they paid for a woman's medication. They help pay people's rent if they need it. They do clothing drives. They have a huge basket of clothing that they give away. And they're in partnership with actual nonprofit community organizations within mainstream. And to me, that's what it should be about. That's what it should be about. If giving back what you reap. You know what I mean? What you reap and sow, give it back to the community. And that's what I like about that. And I'm not ashamed to say it.
No, I totally feel you, brother. I totally feel you.
I
Um,
feel I feel love there.
there you
I
go.
don't feel it
And
in
that's where, the idea of a church
yes, it
comes in,
really
and
they
that's
really
why.
act like a church. And that's
And
what
for
I
all
like.
intents and purposes, on this, they are a church. They have their paperwork. They're good. And
They have
notes that if you,
services. They do
they
charity
reach
work
out,
like churches.
yep. And and we appreciate them for everything that they do. And
Yeah,
we're
but
gonna,
I wanted to pass that along. That's part of the reason I really just don't want to go to big events anymore. They're just big events. There's no heart. I'm sorry to say that, but I want to go where heart is.
hear you. And it's finding your place with your people and things like that. So, like, I 100%, I would have loved to be able to attend the I mean, the
Elevate
Elevate
and
and
thrive.
Thrive.
Me too.
That was a
And I will.
beautiful thing. I think it was definitely made for for that community. And
And the cannabis community. It's important the cannabis community engages in wellness, which is really the direction I would rather head. I was
right,
upset that I couldn't make it, but again, it was priorities. I woke up in the morning, I wasn't feeling that great. I'm looking
right,
at an hour drive. I
yeah,
already had a commitment at 5, so I knew I had to get out of there quick. And I needed to work in my garden.
yeah. And
Bottom
once you have a
line.
garden, you start really saying, you know what, I just want to work with my 4 or 5 plants and keep them moving because you can spend 2 hours working on one plant.
Well, you were over. You came over. You helped me out. You showed me some things that we harvested a plant. You took pictures of it. I
Yeah,
mean, to me, that's more important. I'm sorry. I don't know why,
one
but
hundred
I've
percent.
changed my priorities nowadays, and I really like what I'm doing. So if you don't see Marie around that much, I have rules. If I'm hosting something, I'm going to show up. If I have a table there, I'm going to show up. If you're paying me to be there, I'm going to show up. But otherwise, just to hang out, I don't know. Anyway, we're getting a
We
little
went
deep.
in today. We went deep
Yeah,
today.
we did win it, but you know what? That's what people need to hear. What's going, we're human beings. Everybody else is human beings. I'm sure other people are feeling this way. There's a lot going on in the world. Always you feel like cannabis is your safety place. Your community is your safe place to go and hang out and be accepted and loved and not judged. And guess what? It's not that way anymore all the time. It's not always that way.
And it's
The division of humanity has crept into the cannabis community, as it would, because the cannabis community is part of humanity.
yeah, yeah.
And whether you choose to engage in all the back and forth and all the drama that goes on behind the scenes that we know or not is your choice. And I'm choosing not to.
Yeah, there you go.
That's all. It's my choice. And I don't want to anymore. I don't want to
So
engage in that.
you're not a spring chicken anymore.
No, and in my older
Yeah.
years, I don't know how many I have left. I want to spread love and bring people together. And that together is my community and more other people. I'm really moving more into a spiritual direction now. I
Yeah, you're
really
doing a
am.
lot of that.
Cannabis as
Just
healing.
drop. I appreciate you shared with me your other podcast. That's coming out shortly as well. Or does that come out on Mondays too?
That's a private group that I do, but it's a very interesting thing. I am going to bring it out to the public eventually, but it's
Yeah.
it's an hour where you just play. It's called playtime.
Oh yes, 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 yes.
And and
It's a
I've
therapeutic thing that you're working with one of the therapists. Shout out your
with
therapist.
Dr. Reese,
Yeah,
I'll give him props. Dr. Reese, I've known him for years. He does great work for self-healing.
yeah.
This is what it's all about how to break away from the medical system, which is killing you, and learn how to heal yourself. And so he graciously, I've been working with him since he started, and he came up with an idea for me to run a group for his members, and I loved it. And I just took it and ran with it, and it's been such a fabulous. It's so successful. We're getting a lot more membership every week. But what we do is we play. I mean, I
A
start
lot
them
of
off.
positive feedback, right? Just
Yes,
yeah.
I start them off with a dance. I mean, I literally open up and say, "Hello, let's dance." Boom, we did the time warp this week.
There you go.
I mean, we do a dance and we sit down, we play games. We played rock paper scissors. It was nice. We had a tournament. It was fun, and these are
Yeah,
people my age and some older.
yeah.
It was fun. And then we
People
told
need community.
limericks to each other like we were children. It's like kindergarten. But then I throw a meditation. I call it quiet time. All right, it's time for quiet time, and we do a meditation. And then we do like a discussion group. I had them bring things from their childhood
Yeah,
and describe what was important to them. And then we
but
do a
just
sing along at the end.
yeah, the biggest thing is I want to show that there's so many different communities we can start trying to find, and
Oh,
you
these
know,
people use cannabis for healing. They
there
understand
you
them.
go.
Not all of them.
It
It's not.
interacts,
But it's all about natural healing.
right?
This is
All
it's
forms of
self
natural.
healing. Yeah,
Yeah,
and cannabis is part of self healing. I know it has been for me.
that's right. So,
They
and
told
that's
me
what bringing
7
it,
years ago I needed surgery. I ain't getting it.
right? You've worked through, you've healed.
Yeah, and it
Natural
was
healing.
through cannabis and a lot of other things, diet,
Yeah,
nutrition. It's a big puzzle, but
yeah.
it's whole body approach. Our guest is going to tell us that. But one more thing I did want to mention before we go into our guest. I am having a major surgery tomorrow. I'm having
Yes.
new teeth put in,
Ooh,
and it's a process. So I know for a couple days I'm going to be in a lot of pain, but I'm also a self healer and I heal very quickly.
yes.
I don't know next Monday. It's a process to get these teeth done. I may have like a mouth guard in or something, so I'm just warning the audience. If I look a little funny when you see me for the next couple of weeks, I am ordering a temporary thing to put in, but until I get that, I have, I may look a little funny, which is why you
There
may
you
also not see me out and about very often. And
go.
also, big congratulations to Dylan and Hope from Creamery Station. Great
There you
members
go.
of our community getting married this weekend. I will be at the wedding with the mouth guard on or not. So that's going to be great. Big ups to them. I want to send them my love. They're getting married, and that's a good thing. So we got our guest here, and we're going to talk about natural healing with our guest, of course, because with us we have Takesha Carter. She's the founder of Native Nubian Wellness and Black Women Who Blaze. I like Black Women Who Blaze. She is a cannabis specialist, educator, and advocate, and wellness entrepreneur with over 20 years of experience in health, beauty, and plant medicine. She's passionate about conscious cannabis consumption and creating spaces where wellness, culture, healing, and hospitality intersect. How are you today, Takesha?
I'm well. I'm well. Thank you for having me, Joe. And I appreciate the invite. Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm doing amazing.
We
Great.
appreciate you always.
Yeah, and we were just talking about self healing and
Yeah,
moving away from the medical industry. And I think that's coming out a lot more than it used to, which
yes,
is a good
yes.
thing. It's being exposed more and more. Which is good because it opens doors for people who really know the truth that the body can heal itself if you
Yes,
know how to guide it and direct it, right?
yeah, yes,
Yes,
exactly. Exactly. And that's the really the basis of what I do, is really helping other people find ways to restore their health or find balance within their health with the tools that nature provides. That's the main thing. That's what Native Nubian Wellness is about. Especially, I'm glad to be here today during the fall equinox, speaking of balance and having that
that's
uh
right.
yeah, having that balance in our lives. And so especially talking about cannabis, right? And
Yeah,
what it's here, what it helps to do in our bodies. So but yeah, the journey to self-love and self-care and self-healing can take you, many places. And for me, it started, I would say, in the beauty industry, right? So
right.
I'm learning
Skincare,
how to,
right?
yeah, that's kind of my first industry, focused on, hair care and skincare. And I moved into natural hair care and skincare, learning how to, take care of my own hair and teaching others how to grow and restore their own hair. So they didn't have to come to me
Let's educate
regularly.
the public a little bit. You
Mhm.
switched to natural hair care. Why? Because you found out the commercial products, hair and skincare out there are harmful. Tell us a little bit about why the stuff that you buy and what you discovered is in these things that people are buying off the shelves at Walmart and wherever, the normal people. What? Sorry. What? What's in those things? I want people to know exactly what you're putting in their body and why they need to go natural.
Hey,
Right,
Sometimes you have
right.
to
can I,
scare them.
Joe? Can I
Yeah.
interject just a little bit on that one? And
Yeah.
Keisha, maybe you can piggyback off of what my mind is just picking up right now. Because
Hmm.
shampoo, conditioner, health, body care, all that stuff has a lot of silicones and paraffins and all the
Hmm.
different things that you're about to tell us about. But now, I guess I'll take it from a social economical viewpoint. How bad are the items that we're getting from the dollar stores? You
Oh,
know,
yeah. Let's go
because
another level lower.
realistically, a lot of our communities uh, are low income and end up getting those items from I would even say more men at times because we don't have the idea of taking care of our hair or taking care of our skin
Yeah, I
or
agree.
Right.
and
Yeah, yeah.
so now we just buy something. I'm super guilty of it all the time. I'll go to the dollar store and buy the Suave, a Suave. I'll get the shampoo,
Right.
conditioner. I'll get the dollar soap, the
The
dollar this,
dollar
the dollar
moisturizer,
this.
yeah.
And I feel that it's a little bit different, but at the same time, I'm like, it's kind of doing the same. And I don't even moisturize, but you get what I
I
mean?
don't even
Like, does that?
moisturize.
Yeah, because as things get more expensive, that's when they
You
start
have
getting
to put, you
cleaner
gotta, yeah.
items. But when you actually take the items and create them yourself, you end up doing a huge cost saving as well. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
can you touch on some of those type of things?
Yes, yeah. Tell
Right.
us first of all, like I'm going to dollar store, I'm buying a moisturizer. It's not moisturizing. Let's let
Right.
people know the real truth. And if you want to get into
Right.
sunscreen, you go.
Right,
Because
right. Like,
that's
listen, don't get
another
me started. That's a whole nother show, right? So, but
one.
no, I agreed. My journey, I went from chemicals to natural because of becoming more aware and of what I was consuming or putting in my body. And once I did it for myself, I no longer wanted to, um, you know, sell it to clients, right? So I no longer wanted to monetize over those things, especially when I realized that, my own community wasn't even benefiting from the products that were created and being the ones that were the highest consumers, as far as like Black women being one of the highest consumers of beauty products, right? So once I realized that they, kind of blocked the ability for me to even sell products to my own community, then I knew, okay, no longer am I going to purchase. And the biggest way for me to advocate for that was to go natural. And I literally cut all my hair off, and I was as bald as you are, Joe. Okay, that's
You
how.
wanted to restart. It's like
Right.
that's how bad
And
you wanted to get
it
it
was
out.
it was a protest. It was a literal protest. Plus, I also had my own daughter, and I wanted her to see the beauty in her own hair texture and her own natural skin as
Right.
well.
Right.
And again, yes, being in the beauty industry, knowing about the different products, and chemicals that are forever chemicals in our bodies now, that, we think that our bodies are able to detox, and we're unable to, that affects our hormonal systems and our nervous systems, our gut. It affects, our nervous systems and our lymphatic system. And so a
And
lot,
you're giving it a constant dose. If you
yes,
washing your hair every day and there's those diethylene, people read
mhm,
your labels. Read
yes,
your labels when you go buy this stuff. Do you want it in your hair? Do you want that on your skin?
right, right,
It
and
seeps
absorb it,
in on
right.
a daily basis.
Right, you're absorbing these things, and then again, to lose a point, in low income communities where you don't have access to maybe some products that may be better for you. You'll go to where
Or they're
it
charging a ton of
right,
money.
right, cost effective. You feel like you're going to where it's cost effective. And when I was a teenager, yeah, we had 99-cent stores, and they sold deodorant, shampoo, lotions, toothpaste, and all of those hair dyes, that are, that you're getting. And yeah, we would get those items thinking that, we're saving money, but we didn't realize what it was actually doing to our bodies, especially women, and how they have those hormone disruptors and were affecting your monthly cycle, as well, and that womb care.
Wow.
I mean, so
Wow.
it really does have a compounding effect on your health, when it comes to what you're putting in, whether it's perfumes and oils. So you going natural is a process. It is a process.
Right.
Even in just within the hair care and skincare industry. So I don't even get the acrylic nails and the gel. When I say, natural, I mean literally,
Yeah.
these things are no longer being utilized in my body or on my body. And it's because of all of the things that we no longer can pronounce, right? That are being added, all of the additives. So learning how to do it, learning how to create your own products is also a process. And it does become cost effective over time. In the beginning, you have to get a lot of different things, equipment and
You
ingredients,
need, now,
supplies.
even if you're doing it at home, right? You need like cocoa butter. There are certain bases
Right.
that you have to put whatever other herbs, like, because besides cannabis, there are other great
Yes.
skin. So,
Yes.
yes, in the beginning, you're going to buy a lot of ingredients. But however, we speak about community. This is something that a group of women, or hey, a group of women and men like
Yeah.
skincare, can get together, share the cost, go
Hmm.
over, have a fun party night, and we're making lotion tonight.
Right. You can get it
You
in
know
bulk.
what I'm saying? You do it as a
Hmm.
community, and that's what people need to understand. If you put people together, they can share the cost, share the labor, and share the product with
Yes.
each other. You
Yes.
know, that's all about, let's say, with growing. And I think that's the way people need to start thinking that, oh, on my own, yeah, that's going to cost me a lot of money. That's $500, you know. But you get 10 people, it's $50.
Right. And if you're unable to do it yourself, which I love to teach.
Yeah, well, yeah, right.
But then you have businesses like mine and others that create products. And some create products that are consistently on sale, natural, and you can access them. But then you also, like myself, I do custom herbal formulations for people who are dealing with, certain skin issues or hair issues, so, eczema and psoriasis, acne as well. So my children, all their lives have used natural butters, because of me creating them and me, going natural, you know, prior to them being born, has been a benefit to them. So as soon as they came up with, if they had eczema from maybe drinking, formula or something like that, the doctor
That's
obviously
another
prescribed.
one. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Hi. They prescribed or a steroid and things like that, and it wasn't working. And so, for my oldest, after he's 23 now, but when he was a baby, I went directly to shea butter, cocoa butter, and a few essential oils, and that resolved his eczema. And so, yeah,
It
natural.
can be done naturally.
Yes, yes, it
And a
can.
lot of people, you're right. You can make a kind of a generic lotion. That's fine. And it'll probably moisturize your skin and make you look pretty. But if you're suffering, if you got like psoriasis, eczema, there are a ton of others, and a lot of people don't understand that those things show up on your skin because of something that's going on in your gut or
It's systemic.
something
Yes,
that's the reason they show it. Eczema is just a symptom of the
yes,
cause. And the
yes,
cause is usually in the gut, right? Is
yes.
or yeah, it's
And
or
it's
the
autoimmune.
bloodstream. There's something in the blood that's people don't, that's one thing that I admire about you and a lot of these natural healers. Yeah, I'm gonna help you do your eczema. What's going on with your gut? You know?
Exactly, because it's allergies, eczema, asthma. We're now becoming aware of more autoimmune issues, and now when you start to think about what autoimmune is, and it's your own immune system or a system within your body that's reacting to something that it would be naturally should be naturally able to absorb, right? And so
Exactly.
to be out in nature and have these extreme allergies to nature doing what it naturally does, which is pollinate, right? Now is an issue for a lot of people and it affects their immune system, but it's because of foreign things that we've been consistently putting in our bodies that our immune systems are always activated if you're eating things that are not naturally able to break themselves down within your body with their own digestive enzymes. Now your body sees this as a foreign substance. What is this thing? And now it activates your immune system, not your digestive system. So
No,
people
your whole immune
French
system, right?
fries and you're thinking that's something natural. No, it is foreign. And now your immune system sees that as a threat. And now it has to activate and eliminate that threat. And this is constantly. And so this is why,
Especially when the diet that we eat here. A
yes,
lot this
yeah,
is, everything connects,
yes,
right?
it is.
So if you eat all organic or even grow your own food, you're going to see a difference. If you
Yes,
stop eating from the box, do you know what I mean? And really understand that even the produce you get is not at the grocery, at the regular stop and shop or whatever, is no longer nutritious or healthy for you.
no,
Um, and then if you can make that change, and I know, of course, we have that cost factor again. If you can, you're going to see much better health because you're going to where inflammation. That's
Yes,
how inflammation starts because the immune system is constantly being
yes,
triggered by these bad things that you're putting in your body or even inhaling out of the air,
yes,
like you
environment.
say, and it's constant. And most people have almost constant inflammation in one place or another.
Right. Chronic inflammation is really the a lot of the issues and the culprit. And so people tend to go to cannabis, but when you do go to cannabis, you have to do there is a balance. It's not
Yes.
just now that the plant is going to be magically, resolving all your issues.
Woo!
You have to eliminate certain foods. You have to put certain lifestyle changes into practice in order to see the transformation, especially if you're coming to the plant for wellness and
Well, yeah. How many people do we know that smoke cannabis and have a bag of Doritos right next to them?
right, right, or
Right?
they
A
infuse
pizza.
Doritos. Like I get it every, it's fun. It's fun to have these infused treats as well, but it is contradictory to what we really want from the plant if you're looking for it to help you. So if you're
Yeah,
eating
because the plant itself
those,
is
it's
is
not.
great with homeostasis.
Mhm.
But okay, you get, but every time you eat a bad food or drink a bad drink or do something bad to your body, that homeostasis goes out of whack again.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So it's a constant, it's a constant seesaw effect, right? And
yeah,
so
and that's
instead
why
of getting
we
that
have this
balance,
chronic illness product problem
right,
here.
right, right.
And
And
it's
so
and you're focusing on natural ways to deal with it.
yeah, I had to because I had my own health issues. I have my own. I mean a
Of
lot of people
course, this is
don't know, but
me
I am
too.
disabled. I do have a disability, or I have been diagnosed with one, years where I deal with balance issues with my gait, with hearing loss, things like that. So I'm able to sustain myself and my health with cannabis and the other healing modalities that I,
Right.
utilize. And
So
so
So you started in skincare, but I know this is only the beginning.
yeah.
Your company Native Nubian Wellness has a whole line of stuff that you not only create, but you teach as well. You
Yeah,
teach people how to do this. So it's not like, oh, you have to come to me. Let's
yeah,
work together. I'm going to show you how to do it. You know what I mean? And then you can go out and spread the word. That's what it's about, getting people
right.
together in a group. You're teaching classes.
Yeah,
We're doing workshops all over the state in little venues, and you get together a group of people and you're sharing knowledge with them,
yeah, yeah.
and that's important. I know you have a big one that you do in New York with Kingsbury College. Tell us a little bit about that. It's coming up
Right.
soon, right?
Right. Well, so the Kingsborough Community College class wrapped up in June, and that was culinary cannabis, and it ran for 2 years, but it was a granted program. And so it was free to the public for those communities most affected by prohibition. And so, being that wrapped up, the grant funding ran out and there's no more. I am
Oh, yeah.
running a paid class, right? And that's cannabis, cannabis and wellness, a modern approach to, a rooted approach to modern healing, right? And that will probably run in winter or spring of 2026. But I've been hired for NYU for this fall. 2025 to do their cannabis, the chemistry of cannabis course, which sits within their cannabis study certificate. And so I'll be doing the chemistry of cannabis and its medicine, wellness, and product use at NYU. And that starts actually next month. And so no one else
Nice.
knows, so I'm announcing it here. I haven't,
All right, big announcement.
yeah, so
Keisha is
I'm
now
announcing here.
officially, are you faculty? Like when I go on the
Yes,
website?
yes, I'm right.
Officially faculty at NYU, New York University. That is a
Yeah,
big deal.
yeah.
That's not
I
the
was excited.
community college down the street.
Right.
That is, I'm not putting anything
Right, which
down.
I love Kingsborough. I definitely love Kingsborough and we'll be back offering
Of
um
course, you got both.
right, offering more, but at this time the class at Kingsborough is not running and it's no longer culinary cannabis I'm teaching at
You're
Kingsborough.
teaching a more overview, right?
Right, right, right.
12
And
classes, I think it is.
yes, yes. So the chemistry of cannabis will kind of give an overview as well, helping them wrap up the cannabis studies program at NYU.
See how nice they have a cannabis studies program over there.
Yes,
That's not virtual, right?
right,
There are
right.
actual teachers there. And
Yeah,
this is, we've seen cannabis studies classes being put into a lot of colleges here in Connecticut. We see at UNH,
yeah.
Southern has one now, Eastern has one now, but they're
And that's
all brought
helpful.
in from outside sources. They're
Yeah.
virtual.
Right, right. Green flower, self-paced. And so, I would love for something like this to be available in Connecticut. I think it's necessary. I think
I
it's
do too. A
uh
hands-on where people can actually come in and talk to, have
right.
teachers that they interact with and, speak to. But yeah, we're getting there. Hey, New York always leads the way.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, it does.
if
It does.
NYU is actually staffing a true cannabis program, and I will say UConn does.
Yeah.
UConn does not bring in the canned curriculum. So
Right.
UConn here does do a great program, but they focus a lot on growing. So, but yeah, and this is a point, education, because we have to spread the word. But let's get into like, all right, so what products do you have right now? What other companies? I know you work with other companies who you feel are, ethically
Oh, so the companies
aligned.
that yeah, I'm actually affiliated with. I love the Healing Roads out of Massachusetts. Like,
Love her.
yeah, yeah, so I definitely use a lot of the concentrates from there, tinctures from there. Especially if I want to infuse with CBD, CBG, THCV, and I'm not using raw flour, right? So
Right.
I'm a raw flour person. I love to create infusions and extractions with raw flour, but not everybody has access. And for those who don't, I definitely recommend the Healing Rose. She's, definitely good people there. And as far as, but most of my products I'm making myself, so
Right.
that's what I'm teaching people to do,
I'm gonna go on your
especially when
website
it
real
comes
quick.
to, because you want to know, if you really want to know where your stuff is coming from, and be truly conscious about your consumption, home grow. If you have access and you have space to grow yourself, I would do it. Definitely, I would home grow. I'm doing it myself. It's
As
a
am I.
with the plant. Yes, thank you. A different relationship with the plant. I'm learning so much more about the plant and about myself, my capacity, and
Yeah, yeah.
it really makes you aware of yourself and where you may be neglecting some things. It's like a mirror for me. And so I truly
That's
appreciate
really
having,
good.
right. I really appreciate having access. Um, Also, my series, uh, uh, my Summer Sip series, Summer Sips of Ascension has wrapped up. Summer's over, and I was creating mocktails, infused mocktails, as opposed to alcohol. I know during the summer, a lot of people love to, have a
Yeah, they
little
love
fun,
that
have a little
drink.
cocktails, and they wind down. So I said, why wind down when you can ascend or elevate? And you can do that with mocktails. And so I'm putting together the recipes, the ebooks of all the drinks that I created and shared. So
Oh, that's
definitely,
great. Yeah, I'm looking on your website right now.
thank
You also
you.
do some sommelier
Yes.
services, right?
Yes, yes. So if anyone's having an event and they're looking for some cannabis education, along with, they want to have a product set up or spread, or if you're looking to have some, DIY or demos done, I do that. As well for weddings. I know you mentioned someone's having a wedding. If they wanted to have, I have this
These
beautiful
people will
stuffed
make their
animal.
own, and believe me.
Right, right, right. So I have a beautiful
If
stuffed
I'm
animal
going.
pre-rolls, and you get to kind of pop the balloon and all the pre-rolls
Uh,
fall out and stuff like that. So it's some
Yeah, I
fun
see you
stuff.
got these cool stuff, can of cabanas, can of
Mhm.
bars. So you could set up, let's say I was having a pool party or not, or even
Yeah,
a cabin party. We're going into winter.
yeah, now,
A
right?
cabin party, right? And had a big open room. You could come in, you set up mocktails, pre-rolls,
Yeah,
food, even food pairing with menu. You'd help consult with the menu. So I
Right,
mean, it's like planning a cannabis event. You can just come in, call
right,
Takesha, and here we'll set it up for you.
right. I'll set
That's
it
the
up. I
way to
don't even
go,
have to be
event planning.
involved.
Yeah.
You know, if you have someone, if you have a chef or what have you, and you want me to consult with the menu, and things like that in order to get, the right dosing and stuff, I can do that. And those are private events and I would say adult use type events, but
Yeah,
um
adult events, right.
mhm, adult use type events, but most of my work is obviously in the wellness or therapeutic use of the plant.
And you do most of your work now. I've seen you do the workshops in Connecticut here and
Mhm.
there. You did one in West Haven over at the Masonic Lodge, and those are great to bring people in. But you
Yeah.
also do private consultations. That's probably the best way to do it, right? Because
Yeah.
everybody has, especially if it's more about a skin issue than just a generic product, right?
Right.
So, how does one like get in touch with you? How do they book you? I see on your site you have a booking thing.
Yes. Yeah, so you can reach out to me. I'm on Instagram. You can DM me at Native Nubian Wellness. I'm also on Facebook, Native Nubian Wellness. And you can come to my website. You can, click on the services and you'll see all the services I provide. I do one-to-one coaching for private clients, and I also do group. So if you have a group, a family, and it's something that you kind of want to learn about together. You may be dealing with a family issue, whether it's and I would say for women, if it's maybe something dealing with the cycle and endometriosis and how
Oh
cannabis can
yeah,
help.
that's a big one.
Right, or you're dealing with diabetes and you want to know how maybe cannabis can support that, and what cannabinoid you can utilize that can help balance that out, the metabolic issues. Or if you're dealing with insomnia, and as a group, it doesn't matter, I can help guide you with cannabis, herbs, and whole foods, the best
Right.
way
Whole
to.
more a more whole body approach. Like
Right,
you're gonna say
exactly.
here, like we talked earlier, here's the cream, but what are you eating? You know,
Right.
you know, exactly. We touched on this earlier, and we do have a couple minutes left. And I
Mhm.
don't want to get controversial or anything, but let's really talk about sunscreen real quick.
Mhm.
And people using sunscreen. Are you in agreement with me that you should never use sunscreen?
Well, I haven't. Right.
Not the, I mean, the ones, that's just what I'm saying. The ones you buy at the store.
Right. I've never used sunscreen, right?
Me neither.
Right. I've never used sunscreen. But it's I guess it all depends on, like you said, the type. You have to
Oh,
know
I'm
what.
going to the store, I'm buying banana boat. Tell me about it.
Right, right. See, right, with all of those things in there,
They
you
cause
know,
cancer.
right, exactly, right?
And
So the
they
carcinogenic
do the
ingredients.
opposite of what they say they're doing.
Right, the
Yes.
carcinogenic ingredients, you have to be aware of. And what you put on your skin does matter, especially going in the sun. Now, for me, I've noticed now for some reason I have what they call a sun allergy, right? And if I'm in the
What are
sun.
you eating? No.
Right, right, exactly. It's like, what are you eating? But it's caused by a medication that I'm taking. And
Okay,
so,
so you do know the
right, so it's
cause.
not, so the first thing, of course, my doctor's going to say, well, put on some sunscreen, right? And that'll
Of
prevent
course
things.
they will.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, but my doctors, they know me by now. Like, they come with certain things, and there's no discussing like the vaccines and things like that. Please don't, don't waste time. But
Don't even ask. Flu
right,
shot? What? No, no, no.
right, right. But there are natural sunscreens, right?
I
Coconut
know
oil
there
I
is.
use. Coconut oil, cocoa butter, and shea butter. Those are the items that I use to, if I'm gonna be out in the sun. And then, you make sure you get some shade or what have you, sun hats and things like that, if you're gonna be out in the sun for a long time. But
Yeah, because
you know,
it's the reality is certain your skin's gonna burn. Your skin does burn,
mhm.
and you want to protect it, but you don't want to protect it with chemicals.
Right,
How
exactly.
do you think our ancestors protected themselves? They made the
Right.
oil, they rubbed it on their heads, you know
Right.
what I
They
mean? They
took what
lived
was
in
naturally
sun.
they took what was naturally growing in nature and they rubbed it on their skin, right? And so and then you notice vitamin D levels are low, if for everyone. And
And
it's
people don't understand it's two types. You don't
yeah.
only get it from the sun.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So, and they don't realize that vitamin D is a hormone and it's not a vitamin, right? So just learning those things, in and of itself. And I think people need to be more curious and question everything. And, a lot of times they don't question the doctors because of course you want your doctors to have you hope that they have your best interests, and I'm not saying that they don't, I'm not saying, but
No,
let's
but they've been trained wrong. You know,
exactly they've been trained.
they're doing what they've been trained to do,
Yes,
you
exactly,
know?
which is
And
prescribe medication and perform surgeries. They do not heal or cure. Okay, that's just it. They do not heal or
yeah, you
cure.
look at the way they train them and you understand.
Right, right. And so it's important to be more aware of what you're putting in your body. Conscious consumption, like you said earlier, I promote conscious consumption, not just of cannabis,
Right.
but of everything. And and that's it, be aware of what you're consuming. And if you're unable to pronounce it, if it's something that you couldn't eat, it's not something you should put on your body. That's how I feel.
Yeah, and you made a good point about the home grow, you know, and you shouldn't be and consuming mold. And you shouldn't make products, I'm going to be honest with you, from dispensary weed at all.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
really wouldn't. I wouldn't go to the dispensary, buy weed, and then come home and make can of butter with it.
Right, right,
Not in a million years. No.
right.
You
Right. And
know,
it's
I'm
unfortunate,
sorry to say that, dispensaries, but
but it's unfortunate because that's what people have access to, right? This is what people have access to, so you have to help them identify, right? So and be conscious consumers of everything. And so just like you're gonna go to the supermarket and you buying grapes and it's spray with
there's about a
pesticides.
quarter of the nutrition in there that
Right,
should be.
it is what it is, but I'm still gonna juice those grapes if I need to do a juice fast. Like this is the
But I know
reality.
you're going to buy the organic ones.
Right, right, right. But how is it organic and seedless?
And
So
if
it lets
somebody
you
grew it
know.
around here, you'd buy it from them.
Right. So at the end of the day, if it's organic but it's seedless, it's still
It's still GMOs. They don't
right,
understand that's not
right,
natural.
right. But it's still going to do what I needed to do when it comes to, hey, I'm utilizing this
Yeah,
to
because grapes, a lot of people don't have a certain composition about them that if you do a grape fast,
right.
it has certain effects that a normal fast. And the celery is the same way.
Yes, yes, yes. So at the end of the day, yeah, this is the society we live in. If you can grow all your own bud, your
We
own,
still have farmers here in
right,
Connecticut. That's a good thing.
you
You
do,
can get nice, good tomatoes. A lot of good produce is really grown by farmers. You may pay a little, but just remember you're helping to keep the farm system alive when you buy from farmers.
this is
Because
true.
the matrix, let's say the system wants to control your food and they want you to buy these big giant factory farm stuff from them. And you know, it's important even though and even your cannabis, right? It's important to support your community, you know,
Yes,
and the
this is
farmers
true.
are a part of our community. They're an important part, especially the small
Right.
ones.
That's why I loved how New York had the farmers market for the growers, the cultivators, and they were able,
Right.
bring their excess or what have you, and people could buy directly there, and
See, that's forward thinking.
yeah, yeah,
We're living in a state that's backward thinking. What do they
yeah.
call it? The land of easy habits or
Oh
steady
wow.
habits?
Well,
Well,
I mean, I'm an expat here
that's
actually.
why you're in New
Well,
York. That's why you
that's
work in New York more.
she's
Well,
calling
you
me
know, you gotta
home.
go, and people don't get this. This goes with the cannabis too. I'll drive to Mass. I'll drive
Yeah,
to New York for cannabis. I would drive
yeah.
to New York for a better education in cannabis than rather go to UNH or take
You
the
know.
train. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right, right. I mean, what was it on Saturday? I just came from Hudson Valley, Rhinebeck from a grow there, regenerative grow, cannabis farm there, homegrown.
Right.
And it's Chrome grown. That's the name of her farm. And she's she sells her products and things like that. You have to get a brochure and things like that. But yeah, it's a beautiful
See,
experience
these
for
people need to
last
find
year.
out about these little niche
Right. So I got some beautiful
places.
sun-grown, sun-grown cannabis, and
And it's New York. It's
yeah,
all legal. So
yes, it
hey,
is.
I mean, this is the thing, and this is what I appreciate you, and this is part of my mission is to let people know about these. I don't want to say alternative; they're traditional. About these traditional methods, about these little small farms, like you talk about these companies that are doing these great products for specific things and stuff. You wouldn't know about it, if there wasn't a
Right.
community to get out there and spread the word. And I want to
Yeah,
thank you
yeah.
for everything you do. We're running out of time here.
Thank
One more
you.
time, give us your website, give us your social media, and Native Nubian Wellness. Please support Takesha. She is a valued member of this community. So give
Thank
it
you
out
so
real
much.
quick, and then we'll sign off. And Lou's
Thank you
going to
so
come
much
on.
for having me. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, all that you do for visibility. And you can find me at nativenubian.com, also on IG at Native Nubian Wellness, or on Facebook at Native Nubian. And I'm also on LinkedIn, Takesha Carter. So I appreciate it. I appreciate you, Joe. I appreciate you, Lou, for helping me out and, making sure that I'm visible out here, in Connecticut, where I'm not from. It is a small community, but a strong one. Thank you.
It is exactly, and you do your part, and that's what's important. All right, we love you, Takesha. Thank you. All right, Uncle Lou, you got any last words to say?
Stay happy, healthy, and high, my friends. Thank you so much, Takesha. We appreciate you. Have a great day, guys.
All right, everybody. You can follow me, like, share, subscribe at Greenhaven Media or at Joe the Weed Guy. We love you all, and we hope to see you. We'll see you next week. Take care now. Peace and love.